Hi guys, MITESH here from Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa. I'm the Master Data Governance Manager for Coca-Cola Beverages. My skill set and knowledge is doing data governance, processes, automation and reporting. Basically what OVH has provided us with was a workflow tool and a data management tool that allows us to get the data from data requesters in a format that is presentable and meets data standards and rules. It has helped us with a lot of automation and getting our system and data quality correct. We have managed it ourselves. We don't need to phone IT or anything for that matter. We have done a lot of research and a lot of fundamental insights on workflows, documentation, managing fields and functions, managing data validation on input, managing users and reporting. This tool provides us with all of that and much, much more, and is self-managed. Our business has been using it for the last 4 years, and it has only progressed to a point where it has helped us as a company be more strategic and make better decisions. Thank you guys. I hope you look at it, and I hope you want to look at this tool. I have a few certifications, and I have a good track record. I've won Leader of the Year 3 times, Leader of the Quarter 4 times, and a Bright Spark Awards twice. I know what you're thinking, he's quite young, eh? All right, so my current role at CCBSA required us to have a system or a framework put in place to manage data better, right? And this is what myself and OVH have been working on for the past few years, and I'll now give you some background onto why a robust framework is needed to have a strategic advantage in any business, right? So I'll start off with a quote by Tom Peters. Organizations that do not understand the overwhelming importance of managing data and information as a tangible asset in the new economy will not survive, right? With that said, if your data was water, would you drink it, right? So let me explain what data is, and this slide will help you with this. So basically, master data falls in terms of the business, and it is the DNA of where all transactional data references, right? So for example, a customer record is master data, and you use that to go and sell a product to them. When you hire a new employee, you will save the employee details as master data, all right? So what basically happened, one of our goals at CCBSA, right, was to implement a system to move us to this block, a proactive block in the master data maturity model, right? And this simply implies that we have to have a well-managed framework for master data management so that we can accomplish key performance indicators within good service level agreements, as well as ensuring that robust governance policies are achieved and good data quality is maintained. This also helps our business to make strategic decisions based on our data. So the framework was designed to follow the create, read, update, and delete process. Basically, what this entails is you'll get someone that needs to request data to be put into the system. You'll get another person that needs to provide extra data which they might not know. You'll get someone that needs to approve that they're allowed to put this data in the system. You will integrate with our main software system in our company, and someone can check the data is given to us is correct, someone updates it, and someone checks again to verify that the data given us is put in the system correctly. So this is where this process came about of working with OVH and developing a tool that allows us to manage this whole process. So a cut-off back-end landing screen, it depicts your data objects. So basically, I'm just gave you an example of what data objects we manage. We manage business partners, customer, we manage finance, we manage what we call local distribution partners, we manage human resources, account managers, sales managers, and so on. So we can group our data objects into parent nodes to say this falls under this section, this falls under this section, and so on. And then you'll basically get to your end node where you'd want someone to supply you that information. Sorry, is this mic a bit? Can you all hear me? Yes. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go with the example of creating a credit limit increase form, right? So this is what you would basically do. You would open that node and you would add tabs where it can group fields or sections, you could call them, to group specific fields that are relevant to each other. And then you can go to, so that's a tab. This is a group of fields that belongs in the tab. And then you go down to a field. This field, you will manage the metadata and how you want to receive it. So say I want to create a field credit limit, and I want the input to be field type text, right? I can also say whether this field for this form needs to be inputted or it's just there for information, so I make it mandatory. If it's a reference field and someone just needs to look at it to get information, they can see where you want to get it reference from and what value in that reference table that you need to look at. It's as simple as that. I've created a form and I've created the fields that I want people to insert into this form. Right? With that said, we also have on the form validations. So you don't want people to enter incorrect information when they're giving you this data. You want it to be validated. So it has built-in validations, and you can build your own validations and customize it as much as you want. Our ID numbers are different from another country's ID numbers. But you can build a validation to say, is it 13 characters long? Is the date in line with our current dates? And so on. You can see if it's numeric. Another example will be, you don't want someone to put characters, alphabetic characters in a VAT number. It's a VAT number, you need to test it. We can also basically default fields dependent on other fields. So what it does is, if someone selected this region, it'll filter out all the account managers for this region. And we have a field type called calculator, which basically allows less errors because it'll calculate for you what the amount should be. Example, line item times quantity will give you total amount that you're paying. All right? So after you create a form, you need to see where this form needs to go to and who needs to approve and who needs to provide more data to this form. So basically, this is how a workflow is set up. You can add as many workflows as you want. These dots on the left are the amount of people or groups of people that need to action or view this log, right? The first dot is the person that's physically requesting it. That will be your data requester, right? And then from there, you can see where you want this data request to go through and who must go and update it. So basically, I'm going to look at this level here, district manager. The district manager will need to approve this log to give our customer a 1 million rand credit limit, right? So, in this case here, any limit more than 250,000 rand. What you can do at each workflow, you can actually make it dynamic enough to bypass a workflow if it's not relevant to certain people but is relevant to other people. And you can also filter workflows. Sometimes you don't want to add each and every person to a workflow. You want to add a group of people, but that group of people need to be filtered specific to how your data is requested. In this case, the district manager only wants to see logs pertaining to his district. So that's what we did with the workflow. And he has the ability then to approve or reject in this workflow. Or you can say he has the ability to provide information. From that, once you create your workflows, those little circles there are these blocks here, basically. You need to add people to those workflows or a group of people to those workflows. So again, I'm going to look at the district manager. Once I go there, I will go and look at from our user, because you also manage the users in this tool. Where's all the district managers? I can add them as a role. So it'll look at all district managers. Or if it's one specific person, you can go down and drill down to that one person that you also want to workflow that log to. Apart from having workflow set up, we need to be able to notify these users that there's something waiting for them to action, right? So we built a notification machine, which you can use emails, SMSs, or whatever to notify someone. You don't want to log something or request something, and because this person is not at work or this person is not there, it just lies in the system forever. You need someone to go and action that. You need someone to make sure it's done. So this is how you set up what your notification should look like. You can customize it per each workflow to say, I'm the district manager, I only see what you want requested, so you can add fields to it. And these are some of the options you can send it to them in. You can send it via SMS. You can actually send the whole form as a PDF, Excel, etc. So once you've built your form, users now are able to use this form and request or do data requests or whatever request that you want them to do. So again, I cut off some slides, but this is what happens when you log into the front end, which is what the users will use in your business, right? You can see it's quite fancy. It has some notifications here to see what people have been doing in your domain or in your function and so on. It's fairly simple and easy to navigate around. So if I move on to what I need to do, it's quite simple again. There's 4 things that you would do when you're using this tool in our world. You would either see what you requested or request something. You will see what you need to approve or approve something. You'll see what has been done already from your request, and you'll see from my request what has been rejected. The stuff on the left here is basically all the data objects I have access to as a user. That's that first block again. I don't want to see things that I don't have access to, and I don't want to give access to people to touch stuff that they're not allowed to do. All right? And on the right here is a very cool functionality we built called oversights. So people might be reporting to me, and I want to oversee what logs they are doing or what requests they are actioning. It also helps when someone that reports to me is absent. I can go as their manager and go and action their log because I have authority to do so. Right? So that's what that entails. If I had to click, and I'm clicking this block here to see items that I need to approve, it'll take you to all the data objects again that you need to approve, and it'll show you whereabout in that life cycle of that request it is. So these are all the logs I need to approve, and they're 50% done. Maybe they'll be 100% done when I do my job. If I had to click one of these line items, this is what the screen would look like. Those sections I showed you earlier on will display like this. Those fields, this might be the input field, this might be a reference field, and this also might be a reference field. This will show me now what this person is requesting and what in their request I can reference to go and approve or reject this log. Right? There's a different tabs. I'm not going to go through each of the tabs. You can also then see who has done work on this job and who's still outstanding to go and action this. So you can also follow up on your own, but a notification will be sent to all the people in this group. And lastly, once you're happy or not happy about it, you can approve or reject that request, and you can put a comment if you'd like. So having this and having everything displayed in a format where you can add validation and all assists us to do reporting. It helps us do governance. It also makes sure we have clean data coming into our system by not allowing them to move to the next level if that data that they've given us is not in line with our standards or procedures or business rules. Right? From this and from using this tool, we have, as a company, have achieved this in the last year. Our data accuracy is 99.873%, and that's considering all the objects that we manage. From year to date, we did about 1.3 million changes. That's not creation. And our SLA with a tool like this, since it's managed and notification go out and we have reports on SLAs, is at a 98.43%. And that's calculated on creating a log the first day and actioning it the same day, and anything that's 100 lines or more, you have 24 hours to do. So that's basically what we have done as a company using this tool, where we have went as a company using this tool, and how it has benefited us. There are also things that I have excluded from this presentation that show that it has, during the years, improved data quality and so on. And this tool, I forgot to mention, whatever form that you built has an auto documentation button. So it'll show you via using UML processes what the process is to use this log, which you can give out to business users. You don't have to go and create training material or naughty guides, which is what we call it, and give out to users. So this is where we have went with OVH, and we are very proud of this tool, and we use it daily. And if we do not have this tool, our company would sink. Thank you, guys. I hope that was informative. Sorry, this is just another dashboard to say how the tool has assisted us. You'll always see everything is above 90%. And our productivity has increased. We use less people to do 5 times the amount of work we used to do. Thank you.
Does OVH provide support for the system also, or do they train you to do whatever on the system?
Very good question. So if something technically is wrong, like the firewall is blocking us from entry, they will be on hand, on dial, and they will have their developers or whoever supporting us. But the reason we have developed this tool and we required a tool like this is to stop calling in a developer all the time to say, you know what, I need a new form. Or business has now got this new field that we are managing. Can you create the workflow for me? Can you create the document for me? Can you put these people to send this to? And that is what this resolves. It resolves the issue of me phoning IT and phoning the developer. I will manage this, I will make sure, and they will provide training. And that is why the documentation part is also easy for them. They need to say, these are the people, this log needs to be actioned by, and it'll show you clearly in documenting what they need to do. If you put in your correct descriptions, when you're creating your form saying what, who, when, how, why, then your work is done and their work is done. You don't need any documentation or training material.